Buddha Z here. And welcome to my podcast, Buddha Z Explains. Let's see what I'm explaining. Looking enthusiastic. These are faces I used to make of my kids. Before I had kids, I didn't have these in my repertoire. Having kids put a whole bunch of stuff I won't bother sharing some of that with you now. Although I could have amused you. Okay, today we are going to read two poems because one is very short. How short that thing is. But it says what I meant to say, and a further elaboration did not seem necessary at the time. Okay, here we go. Buddha Z Explains, the podcast that will hopefully make you smarter. This poem is called Menudo Man, written about the 45th president with a smart stomach. Remember, he said he's smarter than other people because he thinks with his gut. He actually said that. He said that that's what makes him smarter than other people, is that he can think with his gut. Menudo Man, he thinks with his gut. It's bigger than most, so he must be smart. Good thing he doesn't think with his butt. I'd rather hear him burp than politically fart. It's actually kind of cute, but I don't want to hear him at all. He should not be anywhere near. He's actually, it's illegal for him to even run a nonprofit because he's ripped off so many people and lied and cheated so many people. He's not legally allowed, at least not in New York, to operate or be involved in a nonprofit. I think his daughter, too. But anyway, here we go. Yeah, he's a crook. But that's why people like him, because unfortunately, half our country is crooks. Okay, here we go. Origin of Suffering, Part 2. This will conclude our podcast. But this is a couple pages long, I think. 3. Well, how many pages long? 4, 5? 5 pages. All right, buckle up. At a minute a page, approximately. That's about 5 minutes. Let's time me. Let's see what happens. I'm looking here. I can see on my camera, it's 2:40 right now. Okay, here we go. I'll chop out some stuff on this because I did an intro. Here we go. Origin of Suffering, Part 2 by Buddha Z, Richard Del Cano. Life is what we see, then understand. Whoever we turn out to be is rarely anything planned. I'm reading from my book. What should I do? What looks better, if I'm reading this way or I'm reading? Maybe I can look at you more if I read out of the book this way. Is that more personal? You can see the title if I open it. Okay. We got one paragraph done. All right, here we go. I'm going to hold it like this then. You can kind of see it looking over it. Not really missing anything. I like my collar, my Chinese collar. But, oh well. Here we go. The book is more important than my neck, which unfortunately is starting to look like an old timer. I should just start over. Here we go. Origin of Suffering, Part 2. Life is what we see, then understand. Whoever we turn out to be is rarely anything planned. We enter into this world without a plan or design. Where we're going, we're not sure, until we walk that line that straightens out before us as the image in the mirror walks toward us. The direction of our path each day usually has some connection to our debts we pay. Each of us choose our lifelong destiny by what pays the bills most easily. The reward for all our toil and pain is protecting wherever we remain. As we add more people and stuff, the need to suffer is not enough. For the money you need and need to spend, like eating another meal or sleeping another day, we accept and ignore what will never go away. The need for more money won't end. All right, that was page 1. Can't see my book. I'll hold it way up here. Okay. Unlike in Buddha's big family day, people now suffer more for more to pay to preserve our independent solo autonomy. Families scorn dependent senior lives. Now each family has 5 fathers and at least 2 mother wives who've ignored their children at best completely. They're cynical there. Since parents charge their kids rent, how can they expect their children's convalescent home payment? Today's kids were cast out at 18, so who taught them respect for their elders or how to bathe a senior clean? Sorry, I was distracted. Let's generalize beyond my scope. The origin of suffering Americans contracted is based on fake news and false hope. It's easy to see step 1 of 4. Suffering is suffering until there isn't any more. Step 2 of the Noble Truth is about suffering's end. But first you have to see through what you defend. Find anything physical or mental that plagues you. Pick any single problem. Now here's what you do. Look at it, smell it, taste it, and be listening for all the information and notice what's missing. Step number 1 is to become a noble expert, understanding what you're doing and why it makes you hurt. Look for the answers, doing research on your pain. Become an expert who can easily explain everything about your problem, because now of your pain, you are smarter, not nearly as dumb. As a child, because now you're getting smarter. Being ignorant helps the suffering survive, though you may work harder. For example, a wart. Yuck, I had those as a kid. I trusted my doctor to know how to get rid. But no, my doctor was an idiot. With scalpel in hand. I still wear the scar on my left knee. Yes, I was a kid, ignorant at 10. I didn't understand that a hole in my left leg meant for an entire summer I couldn't be playing or swimming with my friends. The worst summer of my childhood memory. So, as warts did reappear, I was an outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman all year. For another reason, I guess I'll share in this poetic report. She was my friend's mother. I was kind of distracted in that last paragraph. My mind was all over the place. In fact, I'm going to actually even do something else. I'm going to go in here because I found what I think is a typo. There is. Hold on. It's, well, I don't want to tell you where it is because it's not going to be there when you get this book. Oh, look at that. I'd already corrected it. So it's just in this printing. This is an earlier printing of the book. Okay, so this correction has already been corrected in my current edition. All right, I shouldn't have even got distracted. I was thinking, you shouldn't break up your show and you should do it later. But no, it broke up my reading of that poem to where I kind of didn't. Here we go. Okay, follow me along. We're going on a journey of warts. And it's very interesting. And this is a totally true story. 100% true, actually. So as warts did reappear, I was an outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman all year. I decided to conquer my suffering of warts for another reason. I guess I'll share in this poetic report. Okay, now it'll make more sense. Here we go. She was my friend's mother at the bottom of the hill. She had warts on her arms and hands. But she waited too long, waited until they grew into her bones, and there took root, and roots they grew, requiring the removal of fingers, actually both hands and arms, in surgeries in order to, end her suffering? More ugly than painful. But now she was untouchable. Disdainful. With fingers like cauliflowers, she was a friendly witch. Just looking at her was creepy. Made you kind of itch. Kind of itchy, just remembering. So I asked her why. She'd have warts till she'd die. She explained how her parents did really try. They cut the potatoes and rubbed those warts hard, then buried the potatoes in her backyard. No need to go further. No need to explain. Hopefully you, my audience, don't have a superstitious brain. So her origin of suffering, which is how to deal with warts, was never understood. Ignorance is ugly, then becomes an uglier thing. Never turns out good. Add prayer, bad luck, and karma to confuse all the desperate people who don't know what to choose. Yeah. All your suffering and unhappiness can end for better or worse. Do you seek the proper answers instead of believing you've been cursed? Noble truth number 1 is about learning all you can. So living without the origin of the suffering can become a realistic plan. There you go. See, now there's the very first tenet, I think without an N, tenet of Buddhism. In other words, number 1 is, okay, you got a problem? Figure out what it is. No, figure out that problem, analyze it, research it. If you got a broken arm, okay, do you go to the hospital? Do you go to the doctor? Do you have to set it right now? Are you going to bleed to death? I mean, come to a good conclusion right now. We got 3 more that are going to lead you on a journey to make your life happier and better. But right now, if you got a problem, because remember, suffering is the main reason we're not happy. It's because we're suffering. Whether it's physical or emotional. I don't know, could you suffer spiritually? Well, because if you look at somebody like Trump, who's evil and vicious and mean and dishonest, he's not a happy person. But I think he's happiest when he tells more lies. The more lies he tells, the happier he is. So he's just wired backwards. He's just, anyway. He's got enough money to retire. He needs to just go play golf and stay away from the rest of the world. Okay. Anyway, hey, I think I'm done. Just hanging out with you guys. I might have a slight hint of loneliness in my demeanor. I've been up here on this 3,000-foot mountain for 5 years, and I've had one friend of mine come and visit me a half a dozen times, which has been really nice. He stays for a few days. We do all kinds of movie work and recording, and it's been kind of neat. Other than that, I haven't really socialized, and I don't go, and I haven't been to many parties or done anything. I'm the man on the mountain. Anyway. So the reason I'm only pointing that out is that. I think I might hit my camera. I guess I'm pointing that out because I may sometimes just really enjoy talking to you, even if you are imaginary. Because even if you were there, you'd be total strangers. So I would really be kind of imagining who you really are anyway. I wouldn't even know. Even if I could see you, I wouldn't really know you until I talked to you. In fact, I used to have I don't do that many business deals, but I used to have a thing where I'd never do a deal unless we ate dinner together. Until you really, they used to call it breaking bread together, but until you've really eaten a meal with someone, you haven't gotten to know them all the way yet. Okay, so it's not that you really want to test their manners. You're just looking for a way to interact with them, to know who they are at their core. Who's the caveman or cavewoman inside that person? What's their basic core person? Their DNA. All right, anyway. So, okay, where were we? I'm just hanging out, just enjoying hanging out with you guys. I've somehow can manage to imagine you being there. But I guess I better say goodbye. I'll use the bathroom before I go and get my Can you have somebody bring my Jaguar up to the front? I've always wanted an XKE. I had a Jaguar for a very short time. Ask me to tell you that story. I didn't get the... anyway, I didn't get the pink slip on it. Well, I kind of did, but anyway, I gave it to the guy's wife. So, Because he went to jail. So I gave it to his wife. So anyway, sorry. I wasn't supposed to tell you the story. But yeah, there's some story there. Yeah, those are Tahunga stories. All right, see you later. I'm no longer in Tajunga. I'm in Lancaster now. All right, let me give you, got to give you my Lohan salute. All right, Buddha Jan here.
A verse, something to make life better, not worse. It's the basics of Buddhism. Buddha's first trick. It's the Four Noble Truths to make enlightenment quick. He figured out, sitting under a tree, that life will never be perfect. It includes some pain and misery. But that's alright, he said. Most of this pain is in your head. Don't give up if you're not dead. What you gotta do is understand that things don't always go as you plan. Toss them out. If they don't make you feel good, those expectations should be understood. Don't just put a bandage on your brain. Figure out the source of the pain. Seek the truth about you and your world. Decide how you fit. Seek that truthful pearl that brings lights to your eyes. Moves the clouds from your skies. Which brings us to truth number 2. Now that pain and suffering has become understood, you realize, that everything must end. All suffering is temporary. You either die, if it gets worse, or you improve and survive. So you're understood your suffering. You see the end to your pain. Ignorance will lead you astray, but what you've learned and what you know can visualize the end. So noble truth number 1 is accepting that life includes some pain. Noble truth 2 says it won't always rain. And noble truth number 3, we lead you to the cure. If it can stop the pain be dropped, you know this for sure. So now you seek the first cure, the quickest or the best. Instead of just complaining, you are on a quest. Answers that you seek may lead to other knowledge. Seeking the truth in life is our greatest college. Learn from interaction, success, and mistakes. Number 1, you accept the truth. Life can be bad. Number 2, you see that what's bad has an end. Number 3, you decide how this end can be had. So number 4 is the truth of success and prevention. Live a life that's good. Be as smart as you can. Be a good person, a good wife, a good man. The life you lead is the path you walk and how you talk. Choices are the crossroads of the path around the rock. There's going to be boulders, obstacles in your way. Choose the 4 noble truths to brighten your day.